exterminate?
Oh dear. Well, I guess a lot of fake religious broadcasters in America might be the first to go. Some people who I daren't mention for health reasons. I think Mrs. Thatcher would be a good one. If I had an incurable illness, I think she might be quite near the top of the list. Marcos, quite a lot of dictators, basically people who abuse their power. 11.
Who would you stand next to in the Hall of Fame?
Oh. Well, I guess carrying on from the last question, I think it would be interesting to stand in between, say, the Ayatollah and Salman Rushdie. It would be quite good. 9.
How much do you owe your fans?
Well, really, at this point, quite a lot, because nearly all the people that buy my records have become interested in them through word of mouth, and they've stuck with me for quite a long time. And I've never been, you know, flavour of the month or incredibly trendy or anything. So the people that buy my records, that come to see me perform, are really loyal, and you know, I appreciate that. So yeah, they mean quite a lot. 2.
Are you a bad loser?
No, I'm not. I don't like to lose, but at the same time, I'm not, what's the word? I'm not an ungracious loser. 13.
How private do you like to keep your private life?
Very private.
Please concentrate hard on answering the questions in this section truthfully. If you appear not to be telling the whole truth, you will forfeit the chance to plug your latest video. From the 5 questions which follow, you may pass on just 2. Have you ever ridden the white knuckle ride?
No.
How was it in the company of wolves?
Uncomfortable, because it took a long time for them to change my hair, and I had prosthetics, which is like a kind of rubber thing applied to my forehead, and it used to take about 4 hours for them to make me up and do the hair and the rest of it. So it was kind of a bit grueling, but it was exciting too, because I was very interested to see how the technical side of filming worked, the lighting, you know, the smoke, the sound, all the rest of it.
Do you think you're more of a wigged out old hippie or a talented, conscientious love bomb?
Definitely a wigged out old hippie.
You now have 30 seconds to plug your latest video. Please start now.
Oh God, I hate doing this. My videos for the single White Knuckle Ride. I can't describe to you what it's about because I don't have enough time, but I'm not going to say anything. You can all make up your own minds. Love and passion.
Love and passion.
3.
Please choose any number.
3.
Which emotions do you find most difficult to display?
The emotions that I will only really show to people that I'm very close to, like my friends or my family or whatever. Certain types of vulnerability. I don't cry in front of people that easily, unless I know them really well. 9.
What is your most wicked fantasy?
I can't possibly say now. 12.
When did you last fall in love?
Uh, 11.
How many hearts have you broken?
Oh, that's a difficult one. I don't know, I don't really think about it. 10.
Who was the last man you fantasized about?
I'm not going to tell you that. 7.
Did you send a card last Valentine's Day?
Yes. 4.
How far do sex and love go together in your life?
I think that they're not always linked. I think you can have really good sex with someone and not really feel that much for them. And the same way I think you can really love somebody and not necessarily fancy them or whatever. I think that there's probably too much importance put on sex. I think it's much more important to get on with somebody and have a kind of very deep friendship, like having a best friend almost, and the sex will come out of that. But I think if you don't have the feelings, it's difficult to sustain a good sex life. I mean, you can have a kind of fling, but to make it really last, you have to really care for somebody. 14.
How would you describe the perfect relationship?
I don't think there is a perfect relationship. I think that's a myth perpetrated by the Mills and Boone and Barbara Cartlands of this world. I think that someone else's foibles, somebody else's faults, are part and parcel of the way they are, and you love somebody for everything about them, good points and bad points. I think it's when people have unnecessarily romantic, idealistic attitudes that they come into trouble later on.
Thank you for playing Star Test.
Thank you.
How do you feel at the end of the interview?
Dried out.
Have you learned anything about yourself?
No.
What question would you have liked to have been asked?
What does God look like?
What question are you glad you weren't asked?
I'm not going to tell you.
You are now invited to select 5 characteristics from the on-screen menu which you feel best illustrate your personality.
Okay, do I start now? Determined, courageous, sensitive.
Can you still recall in the jukebox hole?